Have you ever met someone who barely texts back, gives you almost nothing consistent, and somehow that's the person you can't stop thinking about? Meanwhile, someone who actually shows up for you feels boring. That's not bad luck. That's a pattern psychology has a name for. We're taught that love is about compatibility, shared values, shared humor, shared goals. But for a lot of people, the strongest pull isn't toward the person who's right for them, it's toward the person who's inconsistent with them. And there are two real psychological mechanisms working together to explain exactly why. The first is attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby and later expanded by Bowlby Ainsworth. It describes the bond style we form in early childhood based on how reliably our caregivers responded to us. And that style becomes the template for how we bond as adults. People with an anxious attachment style learned early on that love wasn't guaranteed. It had to be earned, chased, or won back. So as adults, they're not actually drawn to stability. Stability doesn't feel like love. It feels like nothing is happening. What feels like love to an anxious attachment system is uncertainty, because uncertainty is familiar. Here's the second piece, and it's behavioral, not emotional. B.F. Skinner's research on operant conditioning found something counterintuitive. Rewards that come unpredictably create stronger, harder-to-break habits than rewards that come every time. A slot machine doesn't pay out every pull. That's exactly why it's addictive. An emotionally unavailable partner works the same way. One warm night after 5 distant ones doesn't feel like a red flag. It feels like a jackpot. And your brain starts chasing the next one, not because the relationship is good, but because the unpredictability itself has become the hook. Attachment theory explains why you're drawn to this dynamic. Intermittent reinforcement explains why you can't seem to leave it. If you've ever stayed longer than you should have for someone who gave you just enough, think back. Was it the consistent people who kept you up at night, or was it the ones who kept you guessing? That answer usually says more about your attachment history than about them. Here's the part most people don't hear. Attachment style isn't a life sentence. Researchers call it earned secure attachment, the documented process of shifting from an anxious or avoidant pattern toward a secure one, usually through consistent relationships, therapy, or simply becoming aware of the pattern in real time. Recognizing the pull toward inconsistency is the first step to no longer mistaking it for chemistry. The next time someone unavailable feels irresistible, pause. Ask whether you're drawn to them or drawn to the uncertainty they represent. If this explained a relationship you've lived through, you already know which one it was. Subscribe if you want to understand the why behind the patterns you keep repeating.